Oh, hi, John. Suck my dick.
What was that last part?
Oh, I said, suck my dick.
Whoa, whoa. Inappropriate. This is a workplace. We're each other's boss. You're not allowed to say that to me. I'm going to the HR department, which is me wearing these OnlyFans sunglasses. Yo,
Ooh, yeah, baby. John Hastings, everybody. He has an OnlyFans. Dylan God, I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about it's not even a subject to do with internet history or anything. We're just talking about chain restaurants, Big Daddy. Check it. You know what the problem is that we could have done much better research on this because now every chain restaurant has a 20-year-old that they hire to do their social media, and then you'll like see a viral post and the Sonic cheeseburger chain will be like just comment it really do be like that on like whatever.
here's the thing that's amazing is you can see each brand of chain restaurant figure out that they need social media at different times. And my personal favorite one, the East Side Mario's content, they clearly specifically paid one company in rural Southern Ontario some money for some period of time in 2022 because there are a bunch of videos of like, whoa, look at all this pasta at East Side Mario's in Brampton. Like there's so much just like YouTube reels sent to the whoa, breadsticks. Like it's just excellent, excellent stuff.
Yeah. How about instead of Riz, you have Riz sticks at the Olive Garden.
So here's where I think this comes from. So during the pandemic, a bunch of TikTokers got into going to the Saddle Ranch, which is this incredibly sad country and western bar that has a bucking bull bronco, and used to have in the pre-pandemic LA days the craziest happy hour specials. Like literally, like you want 5 beers, you come here, I give you $5, you get 5 beers. Welcome to happy hour at the Saddle Ranch. Because there's like, please come, please come. No one comes here. It's a cowboy themed bar at the rock and roll section of LA. We're so sad. And then some TikTokers went, and now there are lines around the block. Like there are bouncers. It is so insane. And I guarantee every restaurant's like, that's the new strategy. Stop worrying about food. Start making a bunch of stuff that it's cool to be photographed in front of now.
I'm trying to look back right now as we speak at the emails I got from Domino's because there was a bunch of. Do you remember when the pandemic started, like the day of, where it's like we're shut down, da da da, da, and it's like first thing every single corporation did was fire everyone. Second
Yeah.
thing is like they send out email blasts, but it was so clear that the email blasts were written by higher ups because no one else was left. So it was like you have to buy this Panzerotti. It was like Domino's has a new deal. I'm gonna tell everyone you're gay unless you get two medium party pizzas.
That's a part of the pandemics no one talks about is that corporate communication was taken over by the worst people at that ever for a period of time. You know what I'm saying? Like exactly right. The CEO and then the guy they forgot was on the board are just like, I'll handle the emails. Dear pussies, buy this or else, Gus.
But it was like a bunch of companies who were like that you weren't on their email list or like you unsubscribed from all their shit and they were like, fuck this. We have their emails. We're sending them emails. I don't fucking care. They can complain, but maybe they're sad and they'll get a medium party pizza.
I was doing yoga before the pandemic started, and so I had credit with the yoga studio, and through
Ooh.
like the amount of emails there, I was like, hey, let me just free up this money. There's no way I'm going to be doing hot yoga anytime soon. And their excuses were the best because I could see as the employees shaved off, the excuses got less and less of like, oh, it's a technical system problem, and more like, look, that $100 is keeping us a fucking float, bro. You're not fucking getting
Yeah.
it.
I don't think you understand that I'm going to fucking Bali and I don't care if this disease ravages the fabric of civilization. I'm having someone who makes less money than me serve me a complicated drink, you stupid fuck. So we're not canceling anything.
I'm 43 and I have a bunch of silver jewelry. And when I speak, I move my fingers across my face. You're not getting fucking cent from me, bitch.
So when were things shut down?
Well, it depends because LA shut down at a different like England shut down like literally 10 days after America. Like, I got to say this about England's response to COVID, the most English thing ever, which is like, yeah, it's a problem for all of you. We are not a bunch of fucking losers, and we're cool with losing some people. Everyone get outside.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what our friend Bobby said. He's like, yeah, it's fine. Just people are just gonna die.
Yeah. That,
Like,
like,
it was
I,
just, yeah, it's just fine if you just like forget that people are dying.
the point in COVID that really made me laugh was all of my English friends who basically just got divorced suburban mom drunk for the first 6 months and just hit the emails. I remember they all were like, I just can't wait to get into a pub. And I was like, wait, you guys are all drinking at home, right? And they're like, yeah. I want to be able to go back to taking that on the road for a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, I love you all. I like that you're like, oh, it's not about that I haven't been drinking. I would like to do it in a different place than the 3 rooms of my house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, drinking alone is bad.
Mm. And yet, I gotta tell you this: drinking alone is bad. But you know what else is also bad? Drinking with people. You know what I mean?
Fuck, I can't find any of the fucking. There was one Domino's email that I knew I should have saved at the time, but it was like, this is Dave writing. The other people were too nice about this. If you don't get these breadsticks, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
The part of the pandemic I always remember was that early part where they gave everyone a bunch of deals. They were like,
Yeah.
porn free, this yoga app's free. And I remember as I was getting all this free, I'm like, when they realize we're just trapped in their houses, there is no way they're gonna keep these discounts going. Like I was like, I remember a bunch of people were like, oh man, isn't it so nice how nice everyone's being? And I'm like, you're all fools. If you think that this is if you think this is the end, we're only at the beginning, dumb fucks.
Oh yeah, baby. I mean, that was the dumbest thing I didn't do. Was I was gonna buy a house in a town called Smiths Falls, which is exactly halfway
Oh,
between Ottawa and Toronto, but it's in the bad. So it's like you can go on, if you're not Canadian, you can go on the 401, which is purpose built and really nice, and or you can take the rocky roads to Coketown, which is where Smiths Falls is in the dead middle of. And it was, yeah, and I could have just got a house for $50,000, and I could
my,
have bought a whole house cash and never lived there in my life and just been still living normally here, and I didn't do it. And I'm a fat idiot who is still busty, so that saves me.
I gotta say this right now. I was aware of the got buy property in Smith Falls plan. The reason why it didn't work out, which was until a very brief moment of the pandemic, it was way less investment and way more time to go to the woods and work on my letters. Like it was not hey everyone, I'm planning for my future. It was, hey everyone, there is no future. And I'm about to go a type of Ted Kaczynski that means I don't get caught. You know what I'm saying? Like it was not.
The only reason Ted Kaczynski got caught is because of what is it? The
He's,
library? Oh,
he's
his brother.
cheating. He's cheating traitorous brother.
He's traitor his brother, which we should all take it anyway. So here's John. Let's do a top five. I mean,
Are we doing top five now? Are we? We're not including fast food. These are sit
no,
down
these are sitters.
parking lot based restaurants. So McDonald's off, IHOP, Denny's, come on in. We're looking kind of place a man can get a goddamn omelet at 1:30 in the morning around some teenagers that are drunk and some parents that are drunk, probably from the same party. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're going in. The hostess is 14. The server is 50. The manager is also 15 for some reason.
Yeah. There is a lot of weird drama between certain segments of staff. There's one guy that's been there for a long time and he's got a nickname. That's T-Bone. Do not ask T-Bone to empty the grease trap. Why? He's got a crack cocaine problem. Like there's
Yeah, the cooks are not allowed to speak to the servers.
oh, as someone who worked in restaurants, still one of the greatest arguments I've ever had, which was the head chef demanding I go tell a pretty lady that he was dancing for her. Could she see him? No, there was a thick wall between the kitchen and the dining room, but he wanted her to know. He wanted her to fucking know. I danced for her. Okay, man.
It's all right. So here we go. How do you
You
feel about? I just have a list. Go for it.
five. You say five. I say five. Back and forth that way. What I do.
Sure. And then honorable mentions at the end. I feel like this is going to fall apart quickly, but whatever. Here's my fifth, and this is all over the world, John. This is my number five chain restaurant, Moxie's.
Holy shit! My number five was Moxie's.
Really?
Absolutely, an exceptional club sandwich, great play. I had the Moxies at Bayshore in Ottawa. I don't think it's there anymore, but three separate times I walked by it, and a crying woman ran out of it. I think it was like a place where, are you 20? Did you weirdly move in with your girlfriend after 1 year of college/university, and now need to break up over a Caesar salad? Well, come to Moxie's, motherfucker.
You know what I really liked about Moxie's is I would go there with my mom when she was working, and I like obviously I live in East End, and she would work in North of the City. We'd meet at the Yorkdale Moxie's. Low, dim lighting,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Dim lighting, like it's fine dining, which is why my mom got in there. But then once you in there, it was like, do you want cod fritters or birthday fries? And every girl that worked there was like, it seemed like born the day before. It was like it was like someone who was like, how recently did you turn 18? 3 days ago? Ooh, 2 days? Too old. Get the fuck out of Moxie's, baby.
Moxie's is that place where it's like you don't need to look at the menu. You're just like, look, you're either getting the cheeseburger or the club sandwich. If you and for some reason there's a lobster roll on this fucking menu. If you want to die of shitting yourself, get that lobster roll. Besides that, fucking stick to the fucking hamburger, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it that's why I really think it's funny, because it's like just East Side Mario's kid's birthday food, but in dim lighting. You're like, oh, what a lovely place to take someone for my anniversary. I'll have the chicken fingies and the chicky toddies, and can I have a peanut buster boom boom bar? And can you give me a smooch?
Yes, I will please take the boneless chicken blasters side of Chipotle DIIIIIIIP, and I would love a glass of red wine in a coffee cup because it is.
Yeah, that'd be sick. My
So
restaurant's called Mugs.
here's
Everything's in a mug. Steak in a mug, wine in a mug, and there's a balcony. 20% off if you smoke.
Now, here's how I would like to distinguish these restaurants. These are all places that if you are 19 and you are dating someone, you take them there thinking this is a nice restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
That's a very good way to put it.
Like it's like me and the boys really want to relax after we did real well at our debate championship. So we're heading to Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, and then a child can do anything there, and it's fine because these are family restaurants.
Yeah. Which what the fuck does that mean? Family restaurant basically means if you tell someone their kid is being loud, the staff are angry at you.
Yeah, if the kid's being loud, it's like, yeah, they just spent $450 on this like little toy that's gonna the kid's gonna forget about as soon as they go home as part of the kids meal. You're going to like have some apps and talk about which TV shows you don't like that you watched 50 hours of.
Yeah, that Pam is a real slut. Actually, after I reviewed The Office once again, I'm team. Of
I'm rewatching. Anyway, so your number 5 was Moxie's as well?
course, it was
Good. All right. So you go number 4 then.
number four is the International House of Pancake.
That's what I'm Here's what I don't like about IHOP. First of all, I was there when the world got shut down, John. Did you know that?
I did not. Congratulations for going some. Oh, I'm glad that
I
for
was
a
hopping off.
investor going to the International House of Pancakes. It makes sense. Got to check in on everybody. Let's head there.
I was at one of the IHOPs in Niagara Falls. There's like 16. And they only gave me my staff discount performing at the comedy club. They used to just give it to everyone at the table, and they were like, "We're only giving it to you. We're only giving Everyone else has to pay full price." And then I said, "Suck a dick" from the back, and then they gave it to my whole bill, my wife and I, and no one else.
That's good. That's real good. What I would just like to say about the Niagara Falls Comedy Club that Dylan was working at, I remember when that reopened and it was like 5 shows and you got a free steak dinner. And I was like, I cannot wait until this is ruined by someone. And like now it's literally like you get 10% off at one IHOP between the hours of 9:15 and 9:20 on some Wednesdays. I'm never in Niagara Falls on Wednesdays. Yeah, we fucking know,
Oh,
bitch.
I'll tell you what I don't like is Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. It's like The keg, at least the keg is also one of those things like Moxie's, dim lighting, but then you look around and everyone's in tearaway pants. At one point I went into a keg and everyone was in tearaways and it wasn't a couple people.
The keg,
Everyone was ready to be like, "Oh, second steak." Hey, yeah.
the keg is what a scumbag thinks a classy
That
restaurant is.
is so apt. Yes.
It's got open flame and it's got a hostess who I don't see again. What more do you want from a fucking restaurant?
Do you imagine? Yeah, and they come out in the like fucking butcher's thing. And the amount of times my brother-in-law, the only place my brother-in-law will take a girl is Red Lobster, the Keg Mansion.
You
And
know what
that
it is?
is
Keg
it's a good
Mansion.
it's a bad day, Red Lobster. It's a good day, Keg Mansion.
The Keg Mansion is basically 2 blocks up from Hooker Harvey's, which is
Yes.
a fast food restaurant that's Canada specific, best burgers, pound for pound fast food in my opinion. And this one is so known for where you can pick up a sex worker. It's like essentially the Google reviews are like Hooker Harvey's actually does pretty good onion rings.
Oh man, the now there's
You also realize that I'm pretty sure the Keg Mansion in Toronto is it not across the street from that sex club a bunch of comedians went to in the years 2016 and 2017? Very weird moment to dip back into Toronto comedy. Everyone was on cocaine and going to sex clubs. You're just tired from trying to fucking be a comedian. Fuck, I should have stayed in Canada. Seems a lot more fun than England.
everyone's like, yeah, there's no opportunities here. Anyway, I'm gonna go have sex at this club. You're like, well, that is an opportunity. I feel like you're disqualifying the fact that as far as like a second job, most people work at Mr. Sub after they're done teaching kids. They're not like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get sucked off at this fucking sex parlor.
I try to get on TV to get a double suck. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me you're just getting a double suck straight from the open mic? This is what the fuck's happened to comedy?
Oh yeah, and the amount of male comedians with huge rods and okay acts that went to that club, and I'm like, I've found my place. I'm okay at this thing, and this other thing that I have is allowing me to have sex with, and then guys, men doing their taxes in the corner, getting off on it. Anyway, John, that's not about the keg. That wasn't about what was your number four again?
IHOP.
IHOP. Okay, IHOP. Here's the thing about IHOP. I've been to the IHOP, every single IHOP in Niagara Falls.
Of course.
Um, the best one was in a now defunct hotel where this lady very adamantly wanted a burger that didn't exist, and
Oh,
she asked for it for half an hour at 1 a.m. And now the IHOPs in Niagara Falls all close at 7 p.m. And I think it was just because of that lady. She's like, I want the Mexican burger. And they were like, once again, ma'am, that doesn't exist. We can get you a burrito. She's like, as a burger. They're like, at this point, 100%, I'll make you a burrito in a burger. No, but I want the Mexican burger. We're offering you a solution to the thing you just said, the Mexican burger. It was good.
here's the problem with those people in those situations, which I've never understood, is just agree with them. Yeah, this is the Mexican burger. Is it? It sure is.
No,
This
because they brought the burger over and she said, that's not it.
Then get the fuck out of the restaurant, you piece of shit. There we go. Yeah.
And she was a drunk white lady, and this was a like guy who was on the night shift, and you could clearly like going to school. And I was like, man, this guy's gonna write a book called "Fuck This Cunt" one day, and it's gonna sell 100,000 copies.
Like, it's also the thing with these types of restaurants is it's really the front line for baby boomer alcohol abuse because they're not full drunks hanging out at like a weird bar, like at a weird sports bar with a lot of different TVs. They've just had like the kids have moved out. They've had 11 glasses of wine. Yeah, they drove there, but don't worry, I'm gonna have some fish tacos. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those places where you're like, oh, this is gonna end weird.
Oh no, this was very much a Sons of Anarchy woman.
Oh
Those
yeah,
people who like wear a Sons of Anarchy jacket like it's a biker cut.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
gang are you in? I'm in The Wire. I'm one of Marlowe's guys. Like,
my my gang's John from Cincinnati.
yeah. Anyway, IHOP really. I don't. Here's why I like. You get the good people watching it on IHOP. So for me, I guess we should have described this, but if you're gonna be in my top five sitters, you got to have a little bit of people watching, a little bit of danger, some okay food. John.
Yeah, but you're going based off of the Niagara Falls IHOP. I'm looking at this from a LA IHOP perspective, and you got to understand, I lived near the Koreatown IHOP, and that was run by one of the greatest rascals I've ever met in my entire life. Do you want to know when they started outdoor dining in COVID to bring up COVID again? The literal day COVID started. Like he literally was. I biked by it was across the street from where I bought a TV, and there was a guy who I assume was the owner just setting up random tables from his house in the parking lot with a big sign that was like on a whiteboard that said "Open still pancakes," and I was just like,
That's one of my favorite. One of my favorite signs I ever saw was gluten-free eggs.
"Fuck yeah, good for
Is
you."
like just take a thing that's gluten-free already and be like, hey, here's some gluten-free fucking water.
Yeah, you want some fucking gluten-free fucking beef patties up my ass?
Yeah. So I think my number 4, and you might nitpick with me on if this is a chain restaurant. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have that one higher up the list. My number 4 is Pizza Express.
Pizza Express was one of my honorable mentions. Not and bear in mind,
Barely pizza, not at all express.
never eaten at a Pizza Express, but and here's
You
how
never
they
ate a Pizza Express.
Pizza
I was
Express.
a fucking regular.
You you love Pizza Express.
I love mid-tier
You,
chains so much. Go for it.
you should have worked at corporate for Pizza Express and Aldi. You repped those brands.
I mean, Pizza Express, you get a wine, you get a pizza. The person serving it is Eastern European. They're fucking pissed.
Oh
And
yeah.
then since you're American in their eyes, they're like, this guy could tip me more than nothing. And then you do, and they treat you like Lord God himself.
The thing with Pizza Express is what a English person in the 90s imagined New York was like in the 80s.
Yeah.
Gotten it so wrong. Look, we've got candles. What does that have to do with anything? Shut the fuck up.
Oh, and then obviously we went with your friend and mine, Bobby Mayer, who we've mentioned on a couple shows recently. And as far as ordering unhinged food, no one is better than Bobby Mayer. His usual for breakfast at this place that had like it was the way they made breakfast was amazing because they would make you a full English breakfast, but they would stack it. So the bottom was the bread and then eggs and then the rashes of bacon and then your blood pudding and whatever else. And Bobby would get oatmeal with bacon in it. Put the bacon in the oatmeal. And he'd be,
I
I don't like the sourdough. I'm like, you are an alien.
I've known Bobby for so long, and the more I learn, the more I'm just like, I've yet to have one question answered. I've just been given more questions again.
It's kind of like you see, I don't know, well, you're not with children, so you don't understand it, but like sometimes I'll see that picture
What were
of
you trying to say?
the go for it.
We're covering up for a thought. You're like, you're not around children. Like, where's he going with this?
No, I mean, I'm just trying to like make things not. I try not to be too judgy on anybody right now. So anyway, you don't have kids, so you don't understand it. But there's that picture, there's that meme where it's the guy with the TV on the floor and then just an N64 in front of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just look at that picture, man. I'll just be like, what if? And
Oh yeah.
I feel like because that's how our lives used to be, where it was like, there's nothing on the walls. I don't know. Why is there anything on the walls? I got a mattress, and then I get drunk to convince people to come back to the mattress, and then they come back to the mattress, and why would I have anything on the walls? If
Oh
there's
yeah.
things on the walls, that makes them know that I've moved in. I could leave at any time.
You want to know why nothing's on the walls? Because that's gonna get wet. Why are the walls wet? I mean, stop fucking asking questions, man. Just we live.
You know what I think the top mark of like a sit down restaurant would be like this would be a sign that says no food poisoning since, because that's really all you want is no food
Oh yeah.
poisoning.
Here's the reason why they don't have those signs. It would be like 4 days max. It's like, hey, what are we doing?
I think Pizza Express was good though. Very like 6 out of 10 food. There was never anyone in there. If there were people in there, they were fucked because not the people, but like the staff was like 6 tables. Shut it down.
You also specifically went to the Streatham Pizza Express.
Of
Like you,
course.
yeah, you rocked that Streatham strip hard, bro.
Oh, I was on the SS, the good one, Streatham Strip.
Certainly were, my friend. There was that weird cocktail bar that we went to sometimes. That's about it.
Oh yeah, there was the Real Jerk Jamaican place, which is it had one in Scarborough and one in Streatham that really let me know I had picked the proper area to live in. There's two locations in the whole fucking planet, eight
You guys,
seconds away from each of them. John, what's your number three?
this is tough. This is hard. I'm
This
going.
is hard.
And it's only because it sucks so hard. Whoa. Let's talk about Jack Astor's. Never.
Ooh, funny t-shirts.
Okay, so Jack Astor's, I assume doesn't exist anymore, but Jack Astor's was the most 2000s brand ever.
So good.
All the appearances of things someone thought could be fun but are not, which is you could write on parchment your table with your server. And basically, if you grew up in the suburbs of Ottawa, the first place you had a beer with your fucking parent was a fucking Jack Astor's. Oh, get me some potato skins, put on the game.
Oh, dude, yeah, and they would come in, they write their name down on the thing, they try and be fun, which created the most irony because it would just be a person who doesn't want to fucking be like a person on a double who like someone called in six and now they have to work 15 hours. They have to work the fucking till 2 a.m. shift. Like, hey, my name's Damien. Yeah, like this snake. And then someone's like, hey, Damien, can we get a couple shots? It's a big night. Like, oh, that's good. Damien's just gonna stand in the back with his head in a mop bucket for a while. Here, I've tried to get some Jack Astor's quotes here. Here's one. One of the shirts says, "I run with scissors."
Oh, yeah. So Jack Extreme shirts. Like Jack Astor's is the place that a woman at 25 who says I'm really into cocktails at 17 would be like, I go to Jack Astor's a lot. But you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like someone that doesn't know the vibe but thinks they know the vibe. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Dylan.
here's one good. Tastes like I'm missing work tomorrow. That's one of the shirts. That's one of ones that said. Truth serum.
Also has a gun in his mouth.
Here's a good one. This tells you everything you need to know about Jack Astor's. This shirt just says "One Man Wolf Pack." Remember that
Oh,
Hangover?
the Hangover movies are so much worse for society than we remembered. You know what I'm saying?
This is my chaser.
Also has a gun in his mouth.
Beer pong champion.
Fuck you. I fucking hate beer pong. I hate everyone who's ever done beer pong. If we could, I would like to chemically castrate anyone who's been like, let's get into the pong tonight. Get to fuck, mate.
This one makes your skin crawl. It says "Drinks well with others," and then it has a check mark in the box. Drinks well with others.
Fuck. I'm glad you told us. Ow! Waka waka. What did you ever hang out at the Jack Astors on John by the Toronto Yuck Yucks? That was a real post-show drinking spot with some real sad dudes in 2009.
No, I this is the thing is I didn't really self-actualize for drinking. I think I'll start doing that when I guess more disposable income and my kids are a bit grown up. Because I used to my goal was to get drunk in every single chain restaurant there was, John, and you know what? I didn't have enough disposable income when I was trying to become a comedian.
You know what? Once your children grow a little bit, someone call Kelsey's because Dylan's coming over for one of
Oh,
those.
the original Roadhouse is getting. Here's some
Oh,
more.
go ahead.
Okay, here comes. You're a great dancer. Quote wine.
I fucking hate that.
Why?
I don't
Love
know.
is blind. Better stay a while.
What?
Be responsible. Don't drink and skydive. 50% single.
Oh, 50%.
This is your number three.
Does it say 50% single, 50% mingle?
No, it just says 50% single. That would have been much better.
Very good.
I'm gonna cheat on my fucking bitch boyfriend. That's what it should say.
I just had a memory that came back to me, which is being at the Canada Spectrum and walking to see a movie, and a guy was getting kicked out of the Jack Astors, And I will never forget his little maneuver of trying to like save some face, which was as he's getting thrown out, he went, I used to be a manager of one of these. And I was like, buddy, that is the greatest comeback I've ever heard you say to a bouncer.
Okay, my number three, Pizza Hut.
Oh, the Hut. Well, here's the problem you have is I would say Pizza Hut now, not on this list. Pizza Hut up until 2000, and I'm going to say 8, 9, definitely on this list. Once they, oh, maybe it still is though. You can still sometimes find the lunchtime buffet, possibly the finest of all buffets. A place I went very
Yeah.
with Alfie Brown with his children, who, as we walked into Pizza Hut, his children turned to us, both of us very hungover, and went, "We no longer like pizza." And I was like, "I got to tell you, I'm really happy not to be a parent at this moment. I'm about to eat a alarming amount of pizza in front of these two children." And listen, if you ever want to live, impress kids with how much you can eat in a fast period of time, because they are. Whoa! How many slices of pizza have you had? I'm going to tell you 4, but it is 6, kids.
Pizza Hut buffet. One time I was at a Pizza Hut with my now wife, and there was this girl getting hammered before she confronted her boyfriend.
Oh,
She was 2 bottles of Pizza Hut Chardonnay in. I don't know what label the Chardonnay was, but the guy who ran the Pizza Hut had just put the Pizza Hut logo over the Chardonnay. I'll have a house wine, Pizza Hut Chardonnay. I'm sure this is the only place that's ever been done. And the waiter was his 14-year-old daughter. Shouldn't have been serving alcohol to this lady. And the waiter said, I think you've had enough. And then the lady said, no, I haven't. And she's 14. So she's like, I guess you haven't. Kept serving her. And the lady was like, kept going, you're not good enough for me.
oh,
And then the man said, who do you call when I'm not around? Who you calling when I'm not around? And then she said, I call anyone I want. I call anyone I want. And it was good. And it filled up a whole time. It was good. They were there before we got there and there after we got there. So they just got fucking hammered at a Pizza Hut, John.
I mean, that's really good. I've never gotten hammered at a Pizza Hut. I once went to a party at a Denny's, but that's about it, which was real fun,
You went to a
actually.
party at a Denny's? I mean, Denny's might be number one just for that. What the fuck is up, Denny's? I mean, that's the greatest thing on ever in the history of the internet.
I don't even know what that is.
You've never seen What the Fuck is Up, Denny's?
No.
Well, we're once again, due to annoyances with our previous streaming thing, Riverside, we are back to Zoom, and it is not Zoom Premium, so it's going to end at some point, and we'll just do a second half that's like 10 minutes long.
That's right.
But in the interstitial, John will watch What the Fuck is Up, Denny's, and
I think,
honestly, you'll be changed in a very real guttural way that will last forever. John, what's your best experience inside a Pizza Hut other than the Pizza Hut buffet?
I mean, the Alfie Brown time was pretty fucking great. There was a big, like Pizza Hut was like hey, let's have we're going to have a cool and chill family lunch because you're all 8 to 10 years old as children. We're going to the Hut. You know what I mean? The Pizza Hut on Maryville near the Dumbo videos and the weird library that was just videotapes, which no one talks about anymore, was quite a fucking scene. Biggest Christian bookstore I've ever seen in my life, right next to the Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah, here's another little life hack. The amount of DVDs they have at the library now is fucked. Anyway, John, what's your number 2?
I labored pretty hard about this. This was tough. I'm going with Kelsey's The Original Roadhouse. But here's the thing. They fucked it. It's so bad now. It is not the brown brick building with the weird red sign. They're just trying to be Cheers, but in Canada. Instead, for some reason, it's now, and I don't know why. The Kelsey's The Original Roadhouse. It was never a roadhouse. It's a classy place. You'd eat lunch with an aunt.
No, that's the thing about Kelsey's is I'll fucking start a fight in a Kelsey's just to maintain the Roadhouse vibe, John.
I mean, you will not. You first
I
of all,
fucking walk in there, the hostess says, "Oh, would you and your family like to be there?" Knee to the face, flying knee to the hostess. She's done. Everyone's there like, did this man just attack a young girl? Yes, he did. Spin kick the fucking sign that says, please wait to be seated. I wait for nobody. Now I'm nude from the pants down. My family's left. I'm going to jail just to maintain the brand, John.
I mean, your commitment to brand loyalty is commendable, and I like it. I mean, there's nothing you said that I disagree with.
Yeah, they did fuck it up, but it's still your number two, though.
It's still my number two because I changed because I was wrestling. Kelsey was almost number one, purely because in my mind, this restaurant, the classiest of them all, was the Kelsey's. Comedian Manola Santanos once said to me, "I treat my girlfriend good. I've taken her to Kelsey's twice." Fantastic. It was a place I have gone to. I've gone more than once when 19 and 20 friends of mine were breaking up with girls, and they were like, "Hey, let's hang out after, so just come with." And so it was always at a Kelsey's.
I think that now this is hard.
So
This is
is this.
difficult because my number one,
What's your number two, bitch?
I don't know. I'm trying to decide right now, and I think I'm going to upset some people by my number two because I think my number two is Nando's. Um,
I
I
didn't
think
even.
Nando's is number two. I think it's probably better food than my number one, but my number one, just for everything you want, is. But anyway, Nando's, spectacular food, espresso. You get espresso, John.
I'm gonna say this. I didn't even put Nando's on the list because
That's fucked.
Nando's has no independent from the mall locations.
Yeah, it does.
I've never seen them,
Strut
but not in a mall. It's like a different. It's a different category. Nando's is like Nando's is almost like. Well, this.
It's exactly what we're talking about. Families go there.
I disagree, but
They
I
have
do.
the nice cups. They have like clay cups.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's almost too classy. Like Nando's is almost like a cut
Too
above
classy. They hand you a fucking tray and then you got to go to the thing. They have all the sauces.
country filled with pigs. They don't know class.
Here's the thing about it. The chicken is really good. The sides are fine. The rice honestly takes it down for me. I don't like the rice there.
Also,
But then when you're nitpicking like this, you got to nitpick over something.
their mashed potatoes can be lumpy or can be good. Also, what I like about Nando's, we know you're getting chicken. Just tell me how much of the chicken you want, you fat.
Yeah, you're not getting anything else.
Quarter, half, just say whole. Don't pretend. Also, if you're not getting the chicken butterfly, get the fuck out of my face. What are you doing? Oh, I really like a piece of shit. Everyone, white meat.
I think we have less than a minute left.
I'm glad I made
Just
that.
keeps on saying 10 minutes, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's mine just keeps getting smaller.
Oh, mine is too. They really made, since we had to go over back to Zoom, they made Zoom worse, which I like. Anyway, John, let's just stop there. That was my number two is Nando's, and we'll be back after this break with our number one.
My number one is piss.
My number one is come. Anyway, after the break, we'll elaborate. We're back. Assholes.
Whoa.
What's your number one, John?
I have seen, as it turns out, by the way, the What the Fuck is Up Denny's clip. It is very reminiscent of what I used to do in the 2000s early.
Yeah.
Those were my people. And still,
yeah.
Are my people. Number one is Denny's by a fucking country mile.
Really?
It's got everything. People watching, food that is food, 24 hours.
Oh, that's big, yeah.
Also, it has breakfast at all times. If you have breakfast at all times, guess what you're getting? Drunk people all the time. But there is an air of like, calm down. There's breakfast being served here. A man is, there's like, because Pizza Express, Pizza Hut, Kelsey's, Moxie's, you could have, he's had a couple of fingers of what he thinks is Glenlivet and is really just toner ink. And now he is talking about his views to the line cook. You don't act that way at Denny's. This is an actual family restaurant. You'll go in the hook machine, bitch. You know what I mean? God bless it. Also,
it must be so difficult not to just like triple charge drunk people. I don't understand why no one, every single server, God bless them for not just being like, I'm ringing these eggs in 5 times. These guys are annoying.
I mean, the behavior, I almost witnessed a fight happening between two drunk, annoying guys over who was being more drunk and annoying. And these were friends of mine at a table on New Year's Eve. And I was brought in by two of the more sober people that called me and are like, how much have you had to drink? And I was like, not that much. And they're like, come meet us at Denny's. the balance is all off. And I got there, and one of my friends, they brought him a bunch of scrambled eggs, and he was like, eggs. I'll never forget this. He goes, eggs, abortions, fuck you, and just took the egg, fucking sprayed them all over the table, started eating, forgot that he had done that, and then was like, why the fuck are there eggs all over our table? They don't clean this place? And I was like, that was the best, where I was like, this is a man who earlier today I saw shirtless screaming at a Super Nintendo. That's how I fucking play. You can't be like, what's happened to this Denny's? There's eggs on the table. New Year's Eve, ladies and gentlemen.
That's fucked.
Default.
New Year's Eve is when everyone's like, "Hey, you would be really fun destroying the next week of my life.
Oh,
I want to put stress on every single friendship I have."
New Year's Eve also in the suburbs is a real fucking, because you're going to homes and there are no taxis. So you're either getting, there's a lot of drinking and driving, or there's a lot of don't ask how they got here and don't go with them to get home.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who are like drinking and driving's bad. I'm gonna ride a bike, as if that's like, oh cool, that'll go fine. So wait, you're drunk on a wheel and you don't have a shell to protect you? That sounds good.
Yeah, I don't appreciate how many times you keep looking at me when you're like, yeah, some fucking idiot on a bike.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, 6'4" guy named John who's from Ottawa now lives in Los Angeles on a bike. Just hypothetical. Might crash it a lot.
Mike might have multiply crashed the bike.
No, what's crazy is all of the bike accidents that were definitely my fault, not that cataclysmic. All the bike accidents that were like really bad landed me in the hospital, other people's fault, but I get blamed for those, which I don't appreciate. Because I was like, no, man, I did some real stupid shit, but you guys just weren't around to see it. You know what I mean? Just full on taking the oval roundabout, just full speed. That's not a place for bicycles. Those are cars. Well, fuck you. I'm already halfway through. Let's go the distance.
Yeah, you're like the Bill Clinton of bike riding, dog.
Like the Al Gore of bike riding, and that I invented
Mhm.
it. Leaves me because I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Lewinsky, not that bad, but look at some other stuff he did in the 70s. Go. Ooh. Anyway, John, here's my number one. Yours is very good, but I gotta go number one. I gotta go to a place that I'll never leave. Swiss
Okay.
Chalet.
See now, as a former thing, and Swiss Chalet did come up because it is a Canadian brand. It is the Canadian brand, and as a former star of a Swiss Chalet commercial, I should have been a bit more brand.
Whoa!
You didn't know that?
No.
2000 and fucking like we're talking 2010, 2009, 2010. Absolutely. It was a morning. It was so good, made so much money. One guy was so nervous. He kept just between every take, he was like, do you think that was good? And I was like, hey man, once you have the audition, they're not firing you. This is a Swiss Chalet commercial. We're only doing this for 3 hours. There's not enough time for them to fire you. As long as you don't die or scream something or break a camera, you're getting paid, bitch.
What did you do in the commercial?
I was there was a briefly they were trying to get a new Swiss Chalet character, the Swiss Chalet manager, off the ground, and I was him in the past as part of a cool '80s rock band. I went like this.
I'm desperately trying to find this commercial now.
I,
Anyway,
my
John.
friend Nate has the ability to like he is so good at googling shit, even with all of the impediments that the corporate world has put in our way. He can find it. But yeah, no, it's out there. You can definitely find it.
Anyway, John, can I
Kill it.
tell you one thing? Is this Paul the Recruit? Were you Paul? Were you one of Paul the Recruit's
Not Paul the.
things? I like the ones where it's like, hey, we have a new funny character, but like, just when they're like, when Swiss Chalet once a year, and this is an alternate Canadian thing where they're like, it's the festive special, buddy. Do you want to fuck yourself with food until you shit come?
Yeah. Hey. Also, the Canadian festive special, it was like a really this festive special at Swiss Chalet was always presented with really positive Christmas music, but the amount of food they were giving you, it was like, you get 8 chickens all stuffed with whipped cream, and if you don't eat them, we come to your house and call your mom a cunt.
Oh yeah,
That's,
a lot of them were hinged on like fights you had to get in with Swiss Chalet managers.
oh yeah, you can have 4 dipping sauces, but if you want 5, you're going to have to fight Clark, the manager of the Brampton Swiss Chalet. His mom has just died of a pill overdose, and he's sort of cool with it.
So here's mine, you fucking bitch. Swiss Chalet. One of the best things I've ever seen was there was a special on wings. It was a lunch special. Waiter came over and said, lunch special's over. And then this guy, Steve, who is not a guy you want to prove you wrong, was like, no, it's one. The wing special's still on. And for some reason, that made the waiter so angry she couldn't wait to get Steve. So Steve ordered, and he now, keep in mind, Steve is with children. He's my brother-in-law, Steve, and my brother-in-law's two boys, who are, I believe, 3 and 5 at the time. And Steve said, "Can I have a Shirley Temple?" And then the waiter said, sorry, the server said, "Shirley Temple, huh?
Here we go.
That's only for F bombs and little girls."
Southern Ontario, baby.
1 p.m. 1 p.m. Good stuff. That is one of the many things that makes Swiss Chalet number one, is that the X factors aren't the customers, it's the fucking staff.
But that's
The
true.
staff has been there and they know that no one, it's so cheap. Even still now, it's so cheap. You can easily just get fucked with food for $50 at a Swiss Chalet. Like absolutely fucked. 50 bucks with tip and dessert.
Chalet is the Red Lobster of Canada in that it's like, yo, we're here to spend some money, but we are here to take years off our life. Getting the fucking chalet, baby.
Oh, buddy. And then the coffee is old, so it's like the only, like, this can sound so weird, but if you like strong coffee like I do, they let the coffee sit for so long, it just becomes really strong.
Yeah, it's what I always term in my mind as car wash coffee,
Yeah.
which every once in a while, where it's like, I put 3 creamers in this and it's still black. Yeah, you're gonna need to. Yeah, cream is not gonna do it, man. Like you're just gonna have to drink some of this. Like it's just.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Shut the fuck up.
Just realized about the Swiss Chalet in my hometown. This is nuts. So this is my high school experience was in many ways a PSA, and that like I know a bunch of people that literally like smoked weed twice and then lost their fucking minds. Like I know a guy who he did a bunch of mushrooms, then tried to stab 2 people and never recovered. Like just it was just a weird place to go to school. Anyway, I realized at some point that all of the ex-drug dealers who stopped dealing drugs were working at the McDonald's on Maitland and Carling when we were all in university. And then I realized like 4 of them that went back to drug dealing all moved over to the Swiss Chalet at Lincoln Fields.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's good.
Westgate, and they were at the Westgate location. They're not the Lincoln Fields location. 1,000 apologies.
Oh yeah, one of my old bosses. She's the CFO at a very small firm or company. Said that yeah, she used to work at Swiss Chalet, and she was like 16, and the office workers would get drunk at lunch and try and pinch her butt, realize how young she was, and tip her 600%. Where she was like, and then I started wearing tight pants because I was like, these guys are gonna pinch my butt, and then realized that I could sue them. I don't know where a lawyer is. I make $700 at lunch every day.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
Nothing better than the "oh God, what did I do?" tip.
there's like welcome. I just love the thought process of dudes where they're like, that girl's so good looking. I'm gonna pinch her with these weird sauce covered fingers. Wait, she's 2 years younger than my daughter. Well, if I know anything about my daughter, money buys her silence. Let's see if it works again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anytime you look back in history, how did that happen? Just look at a guy covered in rib sauce at a fucking chain restaurant. You're like, anyone.
Yeah.
We haven't changed at all.
How did this happen? A guy who he actually could lose some weight if he just figured out it's just sauce that you like. Just have some sauce. You don't need to eat all of this. Just have some sauce.
Yeah.
He won't figure that out. And guess what? He votes.
And guess what? His opinion matters as much as anyone else's opinion.
In his mind, much more, I have to tell you. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
So here's the thing. Denny's is like Denny's is the mainstream safe choice. Swiss Chalet is the people's champ. You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially since it's like you can find someone having dinner at Swiss Chalet anytime from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. because old people are there. Like you see someone at 2 p.m. like I guess that's a late lunch, and then they're like, "This is dinner," and they're like, "What the fuck?" Like I woke up 2 weeks ago. Like
I mean, also you have to bear in mind, Swiss Chalet. I had a what you call a weekend dad. Guess where you go if you're, you got part time.
Yes.
Guess what's for lunch? Swiss Chalet,
Well,
motherfucker.
also it's like from a parent perspective, it's chicken. You can get a couple leaves in there. I don't know. It looks like it could be healthy. It's not, but you can pretend.
Yeah, but
It's not McDonald's.
I'm not a listen. I'm not a parent, but here's what I've really figured out. You want to be a good parent? You're kind of you gotta be a stickler for some stuff, and then you look the other way on some stuff. Yeah, we're going to Swiss Chalet. Yeah, I don't give a shit. You don't have a Shirley Temple. There's water in it. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, good God.
Oh yeah, buddy. Swiss Chalet, you could start a fire and they'd be like, "It's fine. There's much more happening in the corner."
Oh, you think this is the first time someone started a fire at Swiss Chalet? Gets a fucking get, motherfucker. We've been
You fucking little pussy.
operating in suburban Canada for over 30 fucking years. I have seen 4 different gun wounds inside from staff disagreements. What were they disagreeing about? How much dipping sauce to put in the crafts every time.
So that's it. Number one for me, Swiss Chalet. Honorable mention goes to Weatherspoons, which I didn't know where to put it because it is a bar, but it does have aspects of a suburban sit house. And you mentioned it, but R-Dub, Red Lobster, lost a bunch of money on endless shrimp. Truly a place where if you have a skin disorder, you go in there and you are visibly bleeding by the end of it.
I was in Tucson, Arizona in 2019. I was in a Uber provided to me by the comedy club to take me back to the comedy condo. Got to talking with the Uber driver, and he said, "You ever been to Red Lobster?" And I went, "No." And he went, "I want you to open your app. We're getting some cheese cheddar biscuits or
Cheddar
whatever."
biscuits, yeah, the biscuits are great.
Cheddar biscuits, and I was like, I don't want to do that, but I did the next day walk and get some cheddar biscuits, and let me tell you that I regret not doing that with that Uber driver. They are amazing. Also, why the fuck are they not called the Biscuit Boys? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's the craziest thing. They're like, we're leaning into the lobster, motherfuckers. Like, it's literally like they're called silvers and they're built on a gold mine. If we could only turn this worthless gold into precious silver, precious, loved by one Emperor of China silver, not this worthless light gold. Rolex watches, too garish.
I just feel like I just think it's fucked up to look and be like like my son came into a Red Lobster. He's like, look at the lobsters. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna boil those alive and eat them in a second. We're gonna horribly kill these things.
I think about this all the time as I was in Australia, and Australia has a bunch of restaurants where you can like pick the thing out of the aquarium
When they give it the finger and you kill it with your bare hands.
with a
Punch
gun.
it to death. It's more fun.
It's free if you beat the thing to death. Oh, this is in the aquarium. We're a weird restaurant now. Beat them to death. Anyway, but it's just that process is so weird because some of it's like at pick your dinner. It's like, mate, if I walked into the Keg Mansion across the street from Oasis Sex Aqua Sex Lounge, and they were like, pick your cow, I'd be like, am I in a Jerry Seinfeld post from 1995? Am I right?
Okay, John. This episode's done now. What are we gonna do next week?
Next week we're gonna talk about.
Didn't you have some ideas?
Did have some ideas. I'm trying to remember what one of them was.
Wers?
Rob Ford. We're talking about Rob
Oh
Ford.
yeah, let's talk Rob Ford, baby.
We're talking Rob Ford. We're talking bike lanes. We're talking rampant cocaine use. We're talking. Here's the thing with Rob Ford. No one, and it's the best quote said by a mayor of any city, where he just says to a reporter who's not in the room, "I eat pussy."
No, he gets asked a question that's about municipal politics, and then he answers his own question. He goes, Olivia Gondek saying that I ate her pussy. I got enough to eat at home. And he said that at like 9 a.m.
am looking like a hothouse tomato.
Good.
Hi. There you go. Rob Ford, by the way, was the last man killed by ridicule. Society thought they could destroy Trump because they destroyed Rob Ford by being like, this piece of shit, right? And everyone was like, yeah. But here's the thing that Rob Ford was clearly studied by Trump, and Trump just was like, oh, I'll just be like, no, I didn't. That's how you get away with it. And then they're like, yep, he's defeated us.
Well, yeah, Rob Ford was he was a key to Trump because Rob Ford basically figured out, oh, if you're hammered and funny, no one's gonna give a dick full of piss. And they were completely correct.
Really, what? That's the sad part where it's like, how'd he get away with it?
Sad. That's the happy part. The sad
Parties.
part is when the fucking woke mob comes for fucking Biden. Is Biden conservative? Who knows? John,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time. Let's all go to Swiss Chalet and Denny's and have a comparison, and then afterwards meet in the middle, fight to the death.
I keep the Swiss Chalet finger dipping bowls by the side in my car in case I need to touch anything with my
Oh
fingers.
yeah, and also, specialty gravy called Chalet sauce really makes you think you're not having gravy when you're having fucking gravy. It's fucking gravy.
It's not gravy, it's sauce.
Oh
Therefore,
no, this isn't gravy. It's just thick red sauce.
yeah, just thick. Also, guess what I get every year in my stocking from my Aunt Lindsay? Powdered Swiss Chalet
Dildo.
that I slowly use throughout the year.
Ooh,
Fun gift for a Canadian who lives abroad.
that's actually crazy. I read about that on WhoGivesAShit.com.